When I'm recording this video, we already know 2 of the 8 quarterfinalists at the World Cup. My home country, the Netherlands, beat the USA and Lionel Messi's Argentina beat Australia. So that means that the Netherlands will now face Lionel Messi's Argentina in the quarterfinals. Messi was absolutely great against Australia. Not necessarily happy about it, but everything is possible this World Cup, so we might as well go to the semi-finals. By beating Argentina, why not? And when you're watching this video, you guys already know which other teams made it to the quarterfinals. And for many of you guys, the most important question is, did England beat Senegal? Maybe when you're watching this video you already know the answer. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys stoked that England made it to the quarterfinals, or are you guys depressed because you lost against Senegal? But anyways, I'm looking at the future right now, but I want to look back, because in this video I want to talk about the most disappointing players so far at the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. I made a list of a few players that disappointed quite a lot, some players that most people expected way more from. So without further ado, let's get right into this list. The first player I'm starting off with is Kevin de Bruyne. At Manchester City, Kevin de Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, which clearly shows because so far this season he already had 13 goal contributions in 14 games, with 10 of those goal contributions being assists. But this World Cup has been kind of a disaster for Belgium and also pretty much for Kevin de Bruyne. De Bruyne's most disappointing game was arguably against Morocco in a 2-0 loss for Belgium. To illustrate that, let me name some stats from that game. 27 times possession lost, 2 out of 5 ground duels won, 1 out of 5 crosses completed, 0 out of 2 dribbles completed, and 0 shots on target. It's safe to say that Kevin de Bruyne was non-existent in this game. So after 3 games, Belgium were already knocked out of the tournament after being top of the FIFA rankings for 3 years between 2018 and 2021. So unfortunately for Belgium and de Bruyne, this tournament is probably one that he wants to forget pretty quickly. The second player that we're going to talk about is playing for a nation that's still in the tournament, actually is in the quarterfinals already. We briefly talked about them because Argentina so far is doing alright results-wise, apart from that game against Saudi Arabia of course, but one high-profile player for Argentina that's not really playing well is Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro started the World Cup for Argentina as one of the main strikers for the team. In the game against Saudi Arabia he even scored, but that goal got disallowed. But in the games after that, Lautaro really didn't make an impression. And now Julian Alvarez from Manchester City is actually playing over Lautaro Martinez. And I have to say, that guy is doing a pretty good job. Where Lautaro Martinez so far has disappointed quite a lot. And I'm not the only one thinking that, because in Italy the media branded him as the biggest flop of the 2022 World Cup. But like I said, Argentina are still in the tournament, he can still turn it around, but this also shows that Messi really has the weight of Argentina on his shoulders, and so far he is delivering. But I'm gonna be honest, if Argentina want to make it to the final, the rest of the players have to step up their game. Julian Alvarez is really doing that, but we need to expect more from Lautaro Martinez. The next player I'm going to talk about is coming from the host nation of the World Cup, because let's be real, 3 games, 0 points, and everybody is just making fun of you because you played a terrible tournament after preparing for 12 years and still being incapable of playing a decent game of football against the likes of Senegal and Ecuador. But let's be real, were a lot of people really expecting Qatar to make an impression? I don't think many people did, but one player from Qatar that actually a lot of people said that he would do well at the tournament was Almost Ali, the striker who also plays for Al Duhail SC. If I remember correctly, Almost Ali is the top scorer for Qatar with 39 goals in 82 games. So attacking wise, many people expected this guy to do something for Qatar, but in 3 games, Almost Ali managed to get 0 goals. He did manage to get a yellow card, so at least he's in the books somewhere, but not necessarily the books that he would have wanted to be in. So it's safe to say that Mission Qatar at the World Cup didn't work out, and with the way their team is set up, I don't think that they will be capable of qualifying for the next World Cup. So Qatar, I hate to say it, but your chance is over. In 4th place, we have a player that most people are very sensitive about. I might get some hate for this one, but we have to be honest, Denmark weren't good enough at the World Cup, finishing dead last on only 1 point in a group that consists of Tunisia, Australia and France. Okay, France are a good team, but Australia and Tunisia, really? 2 losses and 1 draw for a nation that most people thought would be the dark horse of this tournament. But in reality, they are already out of the tournament after only 3 games. And the player that I thought was very disappointing for Denmark was Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen played every single minute of every single game for Denmark at the World Cup, but somehow didn't manage to get a single goal contribution in those 3 games. And for a guy that scored 39 goals in 120 appearances for his nation, I believe with me, a lot of other people expected Christian Eriksen to be the engine of this squad, but unfortunately Denmark disappointed massively, and with 0 goal contributions in 3 games, it's safe to say that Christian Eriksen also didn't really have his best tournament to date. And where Lionel Messi is really taking Argentina on his his shoulders and not surrendering to the pressure, the other GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, is having a pretty rough tournament so far. In 3 games, Ronaldo at least managed to get 1 goal, which was a penalty, so I can already see Messi fans commenting penaldo on this video. And at one point it even looked like Cristiano Ronaldo got his 2nd goal of the tournament because a Bruno Fernandes cross seemed to get touched by Ronaldo, but later it turned out that it might have touched his hair, it might have not touched his hair, but it was so light that they gave the goal to Bruno Fernandes, which I think seemed like the right call. And it's still absolutely crazy to say that Ronaldo is currently playing a World Cup without a club. So this month and the next are going to be very interesting for Ronaldo, because how will his last World Cup with Portugal finish? Is he going to leave Europe? Is he actually going to go to Saudi Arabia for that monster contract? Or will we still get to see Cristiano Ronaldo for 1 or 2 more years over in Europe? A lot of questions, no answers yet, but the thing that we know right now is that Cristiano Ronaldo needs to do more in order for this tournament to become memorable for Cristiano Ronaldo. In 6, we have another player for Belgium, because how can we not talk about Romelu Lukaku? In his defense, he only played 30% of the available minutes because of an injury, but when he played, Lukaku could have done more, especially in that last game. When Belgium played Croatia, they needed a win to qualify for the knockout rounds. Lukaku came on for Dries Mertens, and Belgium created some chances, some absolutely big ones as well, but unfortunately Lukaku fumbled all of them, scoring 0 goals and subsequently getting Belgium knocked out. But I don't know, can we really blame him for this? This guy barely played prior to the tournament, which was clearly visible, but missing some of these chances was almost criminal. And I'm pretty sure that Lukaku wished that he never made that move to Chelsea. Everything was going great at Inter. The moment he joined Chelsea, things had been going pretty terribly for Lukaku, and this World Cup was another big blow for the Belgium striker. Next up is a player from Germany. You guys probably thought, how is this guy not talked about German player yet? Because Germany getting eliminated in the group stage by Spain and Japan, and especially Japan, is something nobody would have expected to happen at the beginning of the tournament. But I have to give props to Japan. They had a great group stage. They got 2 wins, a win against Spain and Germany. Absolutely ridiculous. Well deserved for them to go into the knockout rounds. And also, the Germans deserve to go home. They weren't that great to the tournament, and especially the first game, where Antonio Rudiger absolutely walked like an idiot against Japan. I hope will be memed for years to come, which showed that the Germans had such a big ego. But in reality, after 3 games, they were not good enough, so they went home. And one of the players from the German national team that absolutely shocked me was Manuel Neuer. Neuer conceded 5 goals in 3 games, with 4 of those goals actually getting scored by Costa Rica and Japan. At times Neuer looked pretty shaky, though I normally think that Neuer is a great goalkeeper. Something looked off with Neuer this tournament, just like with his entire country. It's time to move on to the last player, and this one is a little bit heartbreaking for me as well, because Luis Suarez, the former Ajax, Liverpool, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid star, wanted to bow out with 1 good World Cup campaign. And during the last match day, things were going great for Uruguay. They were 2-0 up against Ghana, thinking that they would go through to the knockout round, where all of a sudden South Korea managed to win against Portugal, reaching the knockout rounds at the expense of Uruguay. And we all remember Luis Suarez as one of the best goal scorers in recent memory, but at the age of 35, I think that it's safe to say that Suarez is truly over the hill. Across 3 games, Suarez only played 55% of the available minutes, and he only had 1 assist to show for it. So unfortunately for Suarez, his plan didn't work out. Uruguay are already out of the tournament, and unfortunately I think that this is the last that we will see from Suarez at the international stage. So guys, that's the video done. Let me know in the comments down below who is the most disappointing player so far at the tournament. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, click my videos to the end screen right now, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace!